guys, how's it going? So I'm going to give you a little reminder, and also I need it myself regularly, and at one point I haven't even ever heard of that. So basically this morning I was playing tennis with my friend, and she is so cute. I love her, and she's such a good friend too. She's kind of a recent friend that I've made through tennis. But she's just so sweet to me. She's so nice, and not like fake sweet, but she's just so supportive, and she's very appreciative of me, and she gives me praise, and she's very genuine and expresses how much she thinks well of my tennis game, and she like, oh, you did that well, and not in like an annoying way, but more like, oh, thanks so much, you're so nice, like, yes, I appreciate it, like, I agree, I'm like, yes, like, thank you, that was a good shot, right? And because she's so nice to me, today I couldn't help but notice that she was totally doing the exact opposite to herself, and I just pointed it out to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so nice to me. Can you be nice to yourself the same way, Because she actually used to play tennis professionally as a teenager, kind of before 17. And then at one point her parents said, we're not going to support this any longer. So she didn't go forward. But she did play on a very high level. It was actually in England. So she has a very cute British accent. If she's listening, I want to say hi. Hi, Vicky. So she's so cute. So because she used to play as a youth, she has very high expectations and standard of herself, and that's preventing her from seeing all the good things that she's doing right now, right? And so whenever she makes a mistake, she only sees the mistake. She only she focuses only on that, right? And on top of that, she thinks, "Oh, I used to be able to do this. This used to be my best shot, or I should be able to do that," right? And with me, she's totally the opposite. She's like, "That was so good. Oh my God, that was such a good shot. Oh, I love when you do that," right? She's just genuinely liking and appreciating and praising my game and not her own. And I like her so much, so I want her to be so nice to herself. So I said to her, be nice to yourself, as much as you're nice to me, right? And so that was a little reminder for me and for her. And I want to give you that reminder as well. If you have never heard this message to talk nice to yourself, well, this will be the first time. But if you have, just treat it as a reminder. Whenever you say something nice to someone else, just offer that same comment to yourself, and that will take practice, right? That will take practice. First, you will not feel good. First, you will not believe it. First, you feel awkward, and it will just feel really strange, right? But just keep offering it to yourself, and one day you will offer it to yourself and you will respond back to it like, yeah, you're right. You know what? I totally did do a good job. Or, yeah, that was such a nice shot. You will fully feel well, and you will accept that compliment and feel really good about yourself. But the reason you're feeling good about yourself is because you gave yourself that compliment. You focused on the positive. You focused on something that you did well, as opposed to something that you didn't do well, as opposed to something that you are struggling with, right? As opposed to the mistake. And I've really tried to do that in tennis. So today I noticed, okay, what do I do when I make mistakes? And what I always say to myself, and I say it out loud, I go, oh, almost. And I really mean it. I'm like, oh, I almost made that shot, right? It was just so close, right? It was just so. And sometimes I go, oh, that would have been so sweet. Like when I whack it hard to the side, and I would have just. And if it was just much closer, or like shorter, then it would have gotten in, and it would have been the best attack shot ever. And so I can already taste that sweetness of that winning shot. And so even if I make a mistake, I still kind of feel like, oh, that would have been so sweet, right? I still kind of celebrate the potential. And that's just something that I've practiced, but that feels a lot better than beating myself up, right? Because I've definitely done my share of that in tennis and everywhere else. Just focusing on all the mistakes I'm doing and beating myself up and kind of saying that, I should do better and this is not okay and blah, 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 right? So this is what I have for you. And you know what? Like this morning, my trainer reminded me to eat more protein so I can build muscle. And I already knew that. And she has already reminded me a month or two ago. But guess what? I forgot. I wasn't focused on it. I wasn't thinking about it. I am eating protein, but I could eat more protein to build more muscle. So her reminding me actually helped to put that focus back on again, right? Okay, you're right. I'm going to make sure that this lunch has more protein than usual, right? And I'm hoping this kind of has the same message for you today. Just talk nice to yourself. Say something nice, whatever you think you did, and offer that to yourself. When you notice you offer that to other people, do you also offer it to yourself? And how can you do more of that, right? And whenever people compliment you, that's the other thing. Do you start to contradict it? Or do you say, oh, thanks so much. Yeah, thank you, right? Do you agree with their compliment? Or do you think, oh, they're crazy, that's not true at all, and start to tell them how terrible you are or whatever it is, right? Also practice saying, thanks so much. Yeah, thank you, right? I totally am good at this tennis, or I am good at, that was a good shot. Thanks so much, right? Like that's what I love, right? Practicing it in tennis because it is easier to own it than in real life. Like, oh, they say, oh, you're so nice. We might not be able to say, oh, yeah, I am so nice, right? It's not something that is natural, right? But in tennis, it's more neutral. You're like, oh, yeah, that was a good shot, So that's my message to you. And what else? That's it. I hope this was helpful to you. I'm going to keep posting these little tidbits of what I have to say as much as I can. And I really hope that my episodes will give you kind of that warmth, that help, that inspiration that you might need sometimes. And these little bits, and I really hope that my personal stories make it interesting and make it relatable, right? This is what I used to love whenever I listen or read anything. I love when people share their personal stories because I love getting to know the people. I love the concepts as well, but if they give me a personal story of how it came about, I love it so much more, right? So that's why I try to take something that's useful and then, okay, if this happened to me, how did it happen to me? I'm going to share with you. All right, so that's why I kind of try to give you a story, but also give you something useful. And if you like it, if you're enjoying these episodes and if they're helpful, please share with your friends or leave a review. And this will help other people find the podcast and also give them help and give them kind of companionship in the mom world that we are at, and give them a little bit of help in their life, right? All right. I would appreciate a review, guys. Thank you so much. So you just, wherever, on Apple Podcasts is probably the best. If you go there and leave a review, a 5-star review, I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, if you need any help with any relationship-related stuff or being nicer to yourself, right? That's like the main relationship that we are always working on. Then I can definitely help you. I do that by talking to you and by simply kind of reflecting to you what you are thinking and helping you examine it. Like if you're thinking that you're not a nice person, I will help you examine it in a way that maybe helps you stop believing that, right? Or helps you get to the truth, and in the end you might walk away thinking, you know what, I was totally wrong. I am such a nice person. I'm such a good mom. And there's no reason for me to no longer believe this, right? But for that to happen, you have to have an outside brain, any other brain, but I prefer like a a coach brain who is actually trained to do this. Because we have no agenda, right? We're simply there to reflect back to you what you're thinking. And so that's why you need that outside brain to help you see that, to help you realize, oh, the reason I feel so shitty is because I think I'm not a nice person. Not because it's true, but because I have a thought I'm not a nice person. All right. So have a great weekend, and tomorrow's Friday. Actually, if you're whenever you're listening to it, have a great rest of your week. And if you need any help, you can go to my website, www.coachingnatalia.com. Go to sign up for a free session, and we can talk on Zoom or on phone, and I'll be happy to help you. All right, guys. Bye. Love you.